So Chauncey calls in. He's hearing all this divorce talk. Chauncey calls in during the news and lets this crazy story, which I don't even know if you remember telling it, because it was it was in the news. You just called in randomly in the news. And so Howard's doing the Allison smear campaign, all the divorce horror stories and how the guy should have all the money and Allison shouldn't get shit. And then Chauncey calls in with his story and beat this, you divorcees.
This is a true story. In '86, I got divorced. I caught my wife cheating on me after 6 months of being married. I took a chainsaw.
But you could understand that.
Yeah. But I took a chainsaw, cut all the furniture in half. I cut the couch in half.
How could you cheat on? He's laying that stepping out dick, right? How would you possibly cheat on? Look at this. Look at this stash.
Look at those guns. I had guns back then.
Look at that. Look at the triceps. And this is like 480 pixelization, and I could see his fucking stepping out triceps.
Stepping out triceps.
In half. I cut the couch in half. I cut the dining room table in half. Took the plate. I took scissors and cut all our clothes in half. Went to court when it was the day for the divorce without an attorney. Never paid a dime for any legal consultation. And said, "Do what you got to do. If I have to go to jail, I'm ready to go today." And they just let me walk.
No payments.
No, I didn't pay one single dime.
Because you didn't have kids.
I didn't have kids that had.
And you were only married 6 months.
I'm not a good lawyer.
Boy, Chaunce.
He's right. He walked in and he said, "Listen, I'm not paying. Tell me to jail."
Yeah.
That's what guys got to start saying. I'll go to jail. Fine.
Yeah, Chauncey had nothing to lose, though.
Don't spend a dime. Yeah, no, this lawyer was trying to get a lot. He wanted money back for all the things I destroyed. Mm-hmm. He didn't get one penny from me.
All right, good for you.
How out of breath were you after that?
Then you're saying be aggressive.
Yeah, don't be intimidated. I hate being intimidated by lawyers.
Then you screw yourself, though. Then you could have had half your furniture. Now you have nothing. See, that's the crazy.
Well, at least none of you are having anything.
Right.
I think that's what Chauncey's trying to say. She's not going to get anything either.
What else is in the news, Rob?
That's Chauncey. I've never heard of that in my life.
Yeah,
Chauncey
that's a true story.
I'm gonna destroy the stuff so you can't use it.
Yeah, I'll say, okay, we gotta split everything up. I'll do it right now. I'll split everything up.
How did you know she was cheating on you?
Oh, that's a great story. So we were married for about 2 or 3 months, and I was in this bar with her best friend. We were hanging out, and I said to the friend, "Oh, I know Dawn's cheating on me," but I said as a goof, like just joking, like, "Oh, I know Dawn's probably cheating on me," and she started to cry, and I'm like, "What? Are you really crying?" She goes, "I told her you would find out. I told her. She didn't believe me. I told her she should just tell you." And so now I'm like, holy shit, I'm gonna play along. I go, "Oh yeah, I've known for a while." I go, wow. I can tell you everything. She goes, "So you know about whatever his name was. It was a boss. She was fucking her boss at work." And I said, I said, "I've known about that." I said, "I've known about that for a long time." That's something. So I went to the payphone and I called her up. And back then, this is how long ago this was. I went to the payphone.
God, the payphone! You got to use the fucking payphone in '86.
I looked for some change in my pocket, and she said, "Oh, Chaunce, when you coming home?" I said, "Well, I'll be home in about a half hour, but when I get there, make sure that everything you own that you want to keep is gone, and that you're gone too, because anything that's there, I'm going to destroy, including you if you're still there."
Holy shit.
And when I got there, she was gone. Most of her stuff was gone. And then she called the police because she was afraid I might do something or, whatever. The police come, and I was bagging up all her stuff to throw in. We had those big green dumpsters behind our apartment. And I was bagging it all up to throw in there. And the cop said, "What's going on?" I told them. They said, "Oh, come on, we'll give you a hand." And they helped me throw all the stuff into the dumpster. Did
you have anybody supporting you at the time, like friends or family? That's a terrifying story. It's horrible.
It was horrible.
Yeah, it's '86. You don't know what the hell the future.
You don't have the social media. You don't have any, you can be very isolated. There was no way. There was no cell phones. There was no texting. There was no nothing. And
I'm really prone to depression. That would have spun me out for
months. It did. It messed me up.
That's horrible.
The worst one was when I was engaged to Judge Judy's daughter. That was the worst.
What, Shineland?
What the hell? Tell this.
You don't know about that?
Not yet. No, I probably would have found it eventually.
We're all ears. Go,
I was engaged to Judge Judy's daughter, Nicole Shineland. So
I'm going to find a picture while you're talking.
yeah, there's a lot of pictures of her. She's cute. You'll see a lot of pictures of her on Google. I was single, and I had this woman who wrote a dating advice column for me, Stepping Out, called Ask Allison. And Allison was friends with Nicole Scheinlin. So Allison said, Nicole's single, you're single. I should hook you guys up. We'll go to Houlihan's one night. We'll have drinks. And
Houlihan's. Oh my God, what a reference. Houlihan's. I miss
remember
Houlihan's.
Houlihan's?
Sure do.
So
Monday Night Football.
Yes, we'll go to Houlihan's and we'll have some drinks. And if you guys like each other, take it from there. So we went to Houlihan's and we hit it off. We really hit it off. And before you knew it, I was living with her on the Upper West Side. And
of course.
I have so many Nicole stories. So her mother hated me because I wasn't Jewish.
Of course.
So the mother would threaten Nicole that, if you don't dump this guy, we're not gonna have nothing to do with you. And they put all that pressure.
Isn't religion the worst?
Yeah.
It's just divides. This is why you see the anti-Semitism. That shit is. I have no tolerance for the sort of that. Who gives a shit about
And by
religion?
the way, my grandmother was Jewish.
Right.
So
Somebody is.
My grandmother came from Jamaica. My grandmother was a Jamaican Jew, believe it or not. That's a whole nother story. So Nicole is all the way to the left. And that's
not bad. Who does she remind me of?
Isn't she cute?
Yeah, she's cute. Definitely. Nice, normal girl. She doesn't even look Jewish. Like, I wouldn't think she's Jewish.
No, she doesn't. Her brothers look Jewish, but she doesn't.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
God, she reminds me of somebody that can't place it. It's bothering the hell out of me.
She's an attorney. She's an attorney now. She's a lawyer.
Of course.
Of course.
Of course.
Chauncey, what's it like being there with Judge Judy, having dinner with her daughter? And isn't this just the weirdest thing in the world?
Well, the weirdest thing was we used to. I mean, we had a lot of great sex. I mean, the sex was amazing, and I used to be in bed with her having sex, and the mother would call Judge Judy, and the mother would be on the phone.
Is that fucking Chauncey? Is that deadbeat Chauncey in the background orgasming?
I'd be going down on Nicole, and she'd be talking to her mom on the phone.
Oh my God!
That's like in the movies. You see that happening, and they're going, "Yeah, just a minute, Mom. Just a minute. No, I'm just."
And that voice. Judge Judy's voice.
Yeah,
sure.
It's a very kill.
I know his real name. Is Steven. It's not Chauncey. I know that. She's like researching you. I could see her like looking shit up on you and stuff.
So what happened? Why did you break up?
So that one took me the longest to get over. I cried in the shower. I actually fell to my knees. And
we've all done that.
I pee in the shower.
Chauncey, why did you break up?
It was weird how it happened. We had a big snowstorm in the 90s, like a really bad storm in New York. It was like 10 feet of snow. And she didn't have any food. So I had a Jeep. So I said, I'm going to come out, and I bought lobsters. And I went to her apartment, and I made these lobsters.
Kosher lobsters.
These little kosher lobsters. She didn't act the same then. Like, she just didn't act the same.
Something happened, right?
Something happened. And then she told me, the next day, go home, just go home. I want to be alone. And I knew something was wrong. I knew something was so wrong. Her mom got to her. She had a Jewish boyfriend who she eventually married.
Of course.
And you can look him up on Facebook. You can see him. Like he's like a really handsome guy, like a good-looking guy.
Okay, I got it. I know who she reminds me of now.
Who?
Sarah McLachlan.
You think so? Sarah McLachlan?
Yeah. She reminds me of Sarah McLachlan.
She does have that.
Yep.
She had this little, like, youthful.
No, she's cute. Absolutely cute.
Great little small little body. Yeah. And,
so do you, Chauncey. That's some hot little body you got on you.
Well, thank you so much. I wish Nicole felt that way, but
so she just sort of ghosted you, is what you're saying.
She ghosted me, and then I went crazy. I was like that crazy boyfriend that went.
She had you. Where
are you? I know you're there.
We've all been there. It's an awful thing when it's happening to you. You're like, I know I'm going crazy, but I have to.
I went crazy. I went out of my mind crazy. So that was the worst. That was the absolute worst. Drinking, a lot of drinking. I started drinking blackberry brandy.
Oh,
Oh,
I've had that.
good
That's
Lord.
that's tough.
In a snifter. I would
Yes.
have I get a glass of Coors and I get a snifter half filled up with blackberry brandy, and I just
Oh,
started
no.
chugging it. And I was surprised I didn't go into a diabetic coma, and that became my life for like a year trying to
She
get
had
over
you
her.
as my black friends would say, shook. You know, like where you're just
Oh,
smitten
yeah.
with
That's what
someone.
the kids are saying.
That's what
yeah.
the kids are all. That's what. How long did it take you to get over it, Chauncey?
2 years, I would
That's a
say.
long time. That's a long
2 years.
time to be whipped.
In fact, I would meet her once in a while. She would feel bad for me. We'd meet for a drink somewhere in the city. I remember crying at the bar.
Bon Jovial, Chauncey. Look at Bon Jovial pulling up the modern day. You know what, Judy? You know what Shineland was really worried about? That
What?
you were going to get the Shineland Ford. She's a fucking private jet and shit. She's
Yeah.
Oh,
ridiculously
yeah.
Oh,
well
she's like
struck.
Oprah rich. She's like Oprah
Yep.
money.
I
She's
wasn't even
yes, Oprah
thinking
money.
about that. Yeah.
Ridiculously syndicated.
Oprah
Ridiculous.
money.
Chauncey,
Yep.
that you realized that you were marrying into hundreds of millions of dollars, possibly.
Come on, think about it the other way. She'd get the stepping out fortune. So which is better? I have no idea.
Yeah. So maybe I did. Maybe I'm the one that escaped, so I could save my fortune.
That's a great Chauncey. That's a great story.